welcome to the City Show. Pat O Melia here. You there? I do this because you're there. You're there because you want to be informed, maybe educated, and a little entertaining. I can tell jokes. I can entertain you. Don't forget everything on your screen. You have follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And download the live stream / Vimeo. That is our base station. That's where we archive all our streaming shows. All our programming is archived there, and it's free. And there's a lot of other programming besides us. For that matter, we're up for renewal with our live stream. I'll be talking to them later on today. Hopefully that'll go better than it did with Comcast. Right now, we're only on Comcast on Thursdays at 1:30. We're still streaming the shows at 1:30 on Tuesday. We're coming into hiatus, so I'll probably continue that until we go on hiatus, and then it'll just be Thursday. And we'll see what happens when we come out of hiatus. We got a few programs we want to work on, some social media stuff. So that's what we do on hiatus. Work on the studio. We just got a drone camera. We've got to get certified on that. I don't remember all the stuff on the screen. Jersey City. Jersey City has finally made it to Disney Plus. Yes, Disney Plus. Miss Marvel debuted this, I think it was Thursday or Friday. Kamala Khan is her name. She's the Jersey City kid. Jersey City kid doing well. She was sitting on a turnpike sign. We probably still have that picture. She's the Jersey City kid, making good. She attends Coles Academy High School in Jersey City, which looks a lot like my daughter's alma mater, McNair High School. Actually, she went to the one up on right off the boulevard there. What is that? Bentley Avenue. And when she graduated, she was one of the original classes. Then they went downtown with McNair. Great high school. But then again, there's a lot of, if you watch The Joker with Phoenix, Wayne Manor looks a hell of a lot like Brennan Courthouse on Newark Avenue. So Hudson County, Jersey City, for that matter, where Batman's parents in The Joker were shot, looks a lot like the Lowe's Theater and the alley alongside. So there's some similarities with the architecture from Jersey City and many of these superhero movies. But I strongly recommend watching Miss Marvel. I enjoyed it. It's geared towards a very younger crowd, but there's a lot of great editing, a lot of great graphics in it. As somebody who produces things, that's what I was watching the whole time, how they're cutting in the graphics and the special effects. It was really cool. And it's a good story, and I'm sure it will be successful. All right, when we come back from break, we're going to talk about Liberty State Park with 2 competing bills and what should happen there. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County because your heart doesn't beat just for you. So get it checked. When your bones are healthy, it lifts us all. We're delivering joy daily in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing and providing New Jersey's only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center. We'll continue building our medical network and taking every precaution for your safety so that we can all be healthy together.
We're back. Pat O Melia here. You there? You notice I got a haircut? I'm thinking about coloring my hair again. I haven't done that in a long time. It gives me that younger look. There are 2 competing bills with Liberty State Park. There's been ongoing drama with Liberty State Park. There is the Liberty State Park Protection Bill that will lock Liberty State Park in as it is right now and as it has been since the 70s. And then there's the other one, the Liberty Park Conservation, Recreation, and Community Inclusion Act. Conservation, that's right, conservation. What was I saying? Conservation, Recreation, and Community Inclusion Act. The second one, the Conservation Act, is backed by all 3 of our senators here, Senator and Mayor Nicholas Sacco, Senator and Mayor Brian Stack, and Senator Sandra Cunningham. They're all in favor of the second one, which has blown the minds of the Friends of Liberty State Park, and in particular my friend, Sam Pessin. I'm a big fan of Sam Pessin, hell of a civic warrior. And he doesn't give up. He's tenacious. He's not going to give up until he's forced to. The bottom line of these 2 competing bills is status quo, and let's do something with the park. Governor Murphy, which kind of sounded the alarm to Sam Pessin and the Friends of Liberty State Park when he said it could be much, 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 much more. In other words, we want to do more in Liberty State Park. I'm on the side of let's do something with the park, and have been for years. This is not new. Again, big fan, Sam Pessin, but nothing happens down there. The park is unchanged, really, and it's not because of conservation of naturists down there. It is unchanged because nothing ever happens. It is a huge park where I believe all entities involved can be satisfied. And for years and years and years, it was Friends of Liberty State Park. There are some other factions now, some allegedly funded by the owner of Liberty National Golf Course, a gentleman, Paul Fireman, I believe his name is. I don't know him. And that may be true. But there is more we can do with the park. Like the governor said, much, 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 much more. Liberty State Park, the Friends of Liberty State Park, can enjoy their passive recreation, and it's pretty much all you have down there. You can sit on the grass, look at, Trade Center, World Trade Center 1. You can look at the New York skyline, look at the Hudson River. That's pretty much what we have done since the 70s. The other groups who were involved, whether they're backed or not, they're other groups, and they should be respected. They're looking for a concert pavilion, a stadium, recreation, basketball courts, tennis courts, pickleball courts, softball fields, that sort of thing. And I'm all in favor of that. See, in my opinion, whenever you go to Liberty State Park, whenever I've been there, and I'm a Jersey City guy, so we're not really big park people. Everybody said, we need more park space. It's really not big park people. I've said for years, when you ride by or walk by a Jersey City park, see people lined up to go inside with picnic baskets. All these can be accommodated, and Liberty National Golf Course. I don't have a problem with them getting an extra 3 holes. What they're going to do, they're going to extend the course, and whatever these 3 holes there's 18 holes there now. You need 18 holes for an official golf course. They're going to remove 3 from the 18 now if they get the new 3, and I don't know, make it a restaurant on that grounds or a 19th hole, a bar, whatever it is. I can't afford to go to Liberty National. But years ago when I was on radio, we were doing a fundraiser for an apartment building in Hoboken that was burned out. And originally we were going to get golf passes or tickets or whatever you want to call from the golf course in Bayonne. Yes, there is a golf course in Bayonne. And nobody knows about it, but there is one over there. It's more like a Scottish golf course, as I understand it. And the problem is they don't have carts. And I remember, I think Tommy DeGeese said, see if you can get the National Liberty Park National, because they allow carts. He goes, if I win this, or because you got a bid on it, says, I don't want to walk around this course. But we spoke to the people. This is going back about 15 years ago at least, and they were nice enough to give us the foursome tickets. And the winner of it was Congressman Alvio Series, who may be running for mayor of West New York now. But he was the highest bidder. I forget what the money was, but we raised the money for the people. You can still have everything. You can have the wildlife protection. You can have the passive recreation. You can have it is a huge park. And I firmly believe everybody can be accommodated. And particular attention should be paid to the Friends of Liberty State Park. They've been there a long time. But just because of that doesn't mean we should bend to their will. And I think the days of bending to their will is over. And I'm going to get into that, the differences of some of these organizations in Jersey City. Like I said, it's a huge park, and it has a huge yearly budget. I understand somewhere around $4.5 to $5 million, probably around the $5 million note now with everything inflation-wise going up. Gasoline now, regulars, like $5.05 a gallon. I burn high test in my car, so I'm looking at $5.60 a gallon, so it is very expensive. If it is possible for the state we, the people of the state, can offset the budget paid by your tax dollars with additional revenue generated by whatever entities or events or fields or accommodations that can be made at Liberty State Park, we should take advantage of that. Because right now, that entire budget is coming out of your pocket, your tax dollars. And this isn't the 70s anymore. Things are just too damn expensive. Liberty State Park, of all the state parks, is probably unique because you got the views, you got the water and all that. I'm not really a park person. You know, you got Cheesequake Park here and there. There's a lot of state parks. This one, you got that view. And so there is a lot more interest in that, where it can generate revenue, than it is in other parks. Any way it is possible to lower the tax bite in the number one state in the nation with property taxes, we need to investigate that. Now, $5 million, if we can offset that and not take it out of your taxes, and in a budget that's like a $60 billion budget here in New Jersey, it's a drop in the bucket. But you keep putting drops in that bucket, you can eventually take a drink. And that's what we need to do. We need to give the property taxpayers here in New Jersey a drink of refreshments we got to get out of their pockets. We're going to break for commercial. When we come back, we're going to talk more about Liberty State Park. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
I've got cancer.
We've got the highest level of cancer care.
The latest clinical trials.
Researchers working to find a cure.
And nurse navigators to guide you every step of the way.
At New Jersey's only NCI-designated Comprehensive Cancer Center, your safety has always been our top priority.
I've got cancer, but I also have peace of mind.
Jersey City Medical Center and Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Let's beat cancer together.
We're back, City Show. Pat O Melia here. Don't forget everything on the screen. Don't forget to love us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and live stream and all. There have been revenue-generating plans in the past for Liberty State Park. Going back to when I first got in with radio with the Jersey City Talking Show, Brett had envisioned a water park there. And I remember it's got to be somewhere in the late 90s, down at Liberty State Park, covering the event for the water park, and Sam Pesson and his group is battling this, and it didn't come to pass. But maybe it should have. Then recently you had a marina that was proposed, another marina that would have spent, paid the state buku bucks. Liberty State, the Friends of Liberty State Park fought that off. There were other plans like the expansion of the golf course. That would have generated funds for Liberty State Park. That was fought off. All those revenue-generating ideas were shot down by the Friends of Liberty State Park and local politicians. Raj, who's going to be a senator soon, he's against the bill, the second one we have here, the conservation bill. He's more involved with the protection. Or there can't be a combine of the two bills. It's either or. I have nothing but respect for the Friends of Liberty State Park for creating the park. Sam's dad and his family. But times have changed. Liberty State Park hasn't. The only change and improvement that has happened in Liberty State Park that I am aware of are the restaurants, Liberty House. And what is that, Marpac restaurant? Well, I've never been into the Marpac one yet. The rest of the park is vanilla or in a state of disrepair. The train terminal, Glenn Cunningham was inaugurated in the train terminal. It was rough then. It's rougher now. Nothing has changed down there. There's cobblestones missing in the cobblestone road. It's almost like a dirty window, where somebody just cleaned the middle of the window and everything else around it is dirty. That's how that park strikes me. And correct me if I'm wrong, and please do. I don't think the Friends of Liberty State Park ever put a dime into that park. They never went and ever refurbished or maintained the train terminal, obviously. Did the Friends of Liberty State Park even put a barbecue in there over the years? I don't think so. And I'm not just throwing shade at the Friends of Liberty State Park. There are other organizations that are now involved in saving the park. Did they do any elbow grease in there? Did they do any fundraising to put some parts in there? No. Yeah, nobody even put a bench in there. But these battling concerns, and Friends of Liberty State Park have been there a long time. Nobody's went down there. Nobody's done any painting or repair or replaced anything. Like I said, nobody's even installed a bench that I'm aware of. There were no fundraisers or organized volunteers to go down there and work on that train terminal or work on whatever we had to work on down there. I don't see volunteers running around lawnmowers or anything. That's why when I look at them to the Friends of the Lowe's, there's no comparison. The Friends of the Lowe's, if you're not aware, stabilized the landmark Lowe's Theater on Journal Square. They stabilized it. They did it. It started with crews of volunteers for years who demolished when they made it a multiplex and they brought it back to the original condition. They did all this themselves with very little help from the city of Jersey City. I think the city of Jersey City paid the electric bill. That was it. For years, these volunteers worked in there, unbeknownst to most people, renovating and restoring that theater. It was years of work, even before they can do fundraisers, before they can show movies, before they can put on the events to fundraise to get some money so they can buy more equipment and buy more material and buy projectors, whatever. Everything you see in that theater, they put it there. They fundraised, their effort, their elbow grease for about 20 years is how that theater was saved. And because of the Friends of the Lowe's, the theater became functional again. It wasn't completely restored, but it was functional. The FOL saved the city of Jersey City untold millions of dollars by stabilizing, repairing, maintaining, and upgrading that theater. All you need to do is go over to Brooklyn and look what happened with the sister theater, the Lowe's Kings in Brooklyn. It was just recently renovated. I think they spent about $130 million renovating it. Why so much? Because there was no FOL there to fix the roof, to make sure nobody was ripping out the piping and all the fixtures and the chairs and the ceilings didn't fall in. We had that here in Jersey City. There was no FOL in Brooklyn to save that theater. And locally, there's no FOL to save the powerhouse. It looks like that may have to be demoed. There was no group that was going to go out there and save it and try to save the roof before it completely collapsed in. There was no elbow grease that you've seen with the Friends of the Lowe's. There was nobody there doing the wiring, getting volunteers who were electricians. None of that happened. There's no FOL for the St. Peter's Prep or the church. There was no group of organizers that went in there and tried to stabilize the building. Now, both the Powerhouse Station and St. Peter's Prep and the church, they're going to fight, but you know what? They're going to probably be demoed because they've gone so far into a state of disrepair. Those properties are probably lost to history because there was no FOL to stabilize them. On a historic note here, the FOL showed us how to save history, not just having a concerned group of voices, barking, we got to save this, and force the city to save it. Unlike the Friends of the Lowe's, they went and saved it. They did the labor. They raised the funds. Also, I think it's wrong when we dictate to homeowners how you should maintain your home when they designate these historic neighborhoods. You want to save history, buy it. Don't come and tell me how I'm going to maintain my house because you want to save history. Everybody wants to save history within reason. Back to Liberty State Park. To generate revenue, go with the other marina. Extend the golf course. Maybe consider Brett Schindler's idea of the water park. Have the concert hall in there. Have reasons to bring more people in there than just sitting on a blanket and looking at the skyline. Use those monies that we can get generating revenue for basketball courts, for softball fields, for tennis and pickleball courts. And naming rights would be a great idea. Could be Amazon Liberty State Park. It could be Tesla Liberty State Park. It could be Google, whatever you want. As long as we have money to maintain it and improve it and develop it. But like I said, all these factors and all these entities all can be satisfied there if they want to be satisfied. All right, we're going to break the commercial. You watching the City Show? I'll be right back.
Jersey City Medical Center has a passion for heart health. We're Hudson County's only full-service heart hospital with innovative technologies and premier cardiovascular physicians, a partnership with Rutgers Health, the latest technology and medical advancements, and nationally renowned care for every heart in every community. Whoever your heart beats for, our hearts beat for you. Jersey City Medical Center.
We're back. City Show here, Pat O Melia. I should have stated this at first for complete transparency. I am a member of the FOL and have been, I guess now, I don't know, 16, 18 years. I wasn't there when they were doing all the elbow grease and knocking down the Metroplex. I missed a lot of the heavy labor. But I was there, I guess somewhere. I came in there around early 2000s, somewhere, probably longer than I think. But those guys were in there a lot longer than that, saving that theater. And they did it predominantly on their own. Jersey City, boy, this was an astonishing factoid that just came out. Courtesy of sources JC up front, and we'll probably have something on the bottom of the screen so you can go to the site. Jersey City, the rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Jersey City jumped $1,533 per month since last year. Think about that. The rent itself increased by $1,533 for a one-bedroom apartment in Jersey City. That's just the increase. The average rent that residents pay in Jersey City for a one-bedroom apartment is $3,943 a month. It is almost $4,000 a month for a one-bedroom apartment in Jersey City. You have any kids, going to cost you more than that if you need a 2 or 3 bedroom. That is frightening. And you know what? There is no end in sight. And a lot of this is driven, of course, by our school taxes. You know, in the last 2 years, they went up damn near $3,000. And years before that, you know, we've only really started taking notice or making the argument over the last couple of years when these incredible school tax increases occurred. Next year with the school taxes, we're looking at a $1 billion plus budget. These numbers are frightening. Eventually, the bubble is going to burst in Jersey City. Either that or people in Jersey City will have to leave. The indigenous Jersey City people, the people who have been here, you know, in my case, all my life, we're not going to be able to afford to live in Jersey City at this rate. Again, it's almost $4,000 a month for a one-bedroom apartment in Jersey City. Forget about affordable. There is no affordable in Jersey City. And as I stated in a lot of the shows in the past, there is no affordable in Jersey City if the city itself is not affordable. And, you know, and I have a problem with putting affordable housing in, say, like downtown, the most affluent part of Jersey City. They put people down there, we'll give them a break on the rent, but they're not going to be able to afford anything else down there because everything is jacked up so high because the expenses of living there. I can give you an apartment there, we'll cut you a break, and it'll be affordable apartments for 20 years. But you won't be able to afford to eat down there or go to the bar down there or, you know, go to the corner store because everything is so expensive there. You got a break on your rent, but you're still making the same pay you did before. So it's almost as if there's somebody who's hungry and they can just look through the window of a restaurant. They can't afford to go in there. They're hungry, but they can't afford that. But they're in that area. So that's until we can, and it probably was impossible to change. Somehow we got to turn around and reverse this, that there is some affordability in Jersey City. But, you know, the way we're working at it now, it's not going to work. We keep building and building and building, and then we have to start working on the infrastructure for the building and the building and the building. Yeah, I don't know where kids are going to go to schools. The schools are jammed now. And we got a ridiculous budget with the schools. So it's very difficult here, and inflation isn't helping any of this. But the school right now is one of the largest factors in the unaffordability of Jersey City. Went and voted last week in the primary. You remember you said that the big book would come out there, you had to sign your name in ink? A little more. Now they got a tablet there. And they give you this little stylus. There is no way in hell you are going to match my signature on that tablet with that stylus, which I broke in half signing with my signature. And since we're not asking for ID as to who you are, and there ain't no way in hell you're going to match up my signature on that tablet with what I used to sign on the paper, anybody can vote. Pin them in there. Doesn't matter. It's the truth. They're going to match up my signature on that tablet to what was there on the paper. I tell you what, my signature is not even going to match the next in the general election to what was on that tablet, because you just can't sign on those tablets. I should have probably just used my finger. Jersey City is going to acquire the Port Liberté ferry terminal. Now, before, when we say a ferry terminal, it's not like the one in Hoboken with brick and mortar. This is kind of like flotation devices out on the Hudson River. I don't know why we're doing this. You can probably park 2 ferries there at one time. We're not going to run the ferries. We'll contract somebody, or we'll give docking rights to somebody. I don't know why Jersey City's investigating this. The only thing I can say, it looks as if Port Liberté is going to still have a ferry service. Yes, they're not going to have to be responsible for their terminal, their dock, or whatever you want to call it. The city will pick up the price of that. Port Liberté will still have ferry service without the expense of the terminal or the ferry dock, because the city of Jersey will pick up the price of that. I don't know why. I didn't get a chance to talk to Mayor Fulop about that, but that seems to be rather expensive to do. But he's talking about expanding, and he's done well with the VIA, the little minivan bus service we have running around Jersey City, at least what we're told. Jack Del Rio, let me close on this. I don't know if you know Jack Del Rio. He was a linebacker in the NFL of some, fame, good football player. He's also a defensive specialist. He was the head coach at Jacksonville Jaguars, the Oakland Raiders. I think I'm missing somebody. I think I'm missing a team. Presently, he is the defensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders, the Washington football team. I know him as the Redskins, but we don't use that name anymore. He recently was fined $100,000 for comparing the riots, or insurrection, if you would, on January 6th to the riots that occurred in the summer 2 years ago, where buildings and people were killed and buildings were burned and riots, and Seattle lost part of their city for about a year. It was like a DMZ there. He got fined for calling the January 6th insurrection, as we refer to it, as a dust-up. Now, I'm all in favor of free speech. I said before, without free speech, we won't know who the idiots are. I can't believe this guy got fined $100,000 for speaking his mind and with threats to fire this guy. Now, remember, he is a football player and a linebacker. When he was the coach of Jacksonville, he brought in a tree stump and an axe. And that was their saying, chop wood. That was their thing in the locker room. That was their thing until the punter actually almost cut off his leg. Wasn't the wisest thing to have in the locker room. But going back to Jack Del Rio, no matter what he said, you should have the right to speak your mind without worrying about losing your job. What happened to this, the freedom of speech? What happened with Jack Del Rio is amazing, and it's also scary. All right, we're out of show. You be good, you be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.